you so much for taking the time to speak with me. So let's just get into this with the first things first. Overall, how are you doing today? Sunday afternoon in the UK?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, couldn't ask for better weather.
Whereabouts are you?
So I'm Stevenage based, so it's kind of like London-ish sort of area.
Fair, fair enough. We're not too far apart then, as I am in the southeast of London.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. Um, we're into 2024 now, a couple of weeks into it. How has the year been treating you so far and Swarm6ix overall?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we've got a weekend coming up with Overthrown this weekend coming, which is nice, and we've got a few things obviously to divulge and let people know what's coming up. Um, so yeah, no, it's been exciting. I think it's going to be a good year for us. Fingers crossed. Got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. So yeah.
Starting off hot, it's good to hear, particularly when you reflect on previous year, 2023 as a whole, a very strong year for you overall. Are you satisfied with what Swarm6ix was able to accomplish in 2023?
Yeah, I think overall like we've done quite well. I mean, sort of like it's been a lot of kind of just putting in the work sort of thing for I think for a lot for this year probably. Played like a lot of good shows. And our management's done a lot for us as well. Savior management. James is incredible. He's done a lot of work for us. Um, and then yeah, it just feels like we've put in the legwork, and now it's kind of like it's starting to pay off for this year. So
Sort of like the building blocks, as it were, building up the foundation to then start building on it.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Um, Sticking with looking back to 2023, do you have any particular highlights when you reflect on the year as a whole that you think, yeah, that was amazing?
Do you know what? We played with some sick bands. Shades UK, they were like sort of like bros for life now. Like they were wicked. I just every chance we've had to play with gigs and play with certain bands. Just it's just nice to get back into the swing of things with with everything, and people are just wicked. Like I just fucking just love everyone. Everyone's out to like help each other. Do you know what I mean? No one's horrible. No one's trying to make any horrible comments or like anything like that. Yeah, it's just a love kind of relationship.
Oh, that's good to hear that you're finding that because, of course, the UK scene in general, whatever genre in particular, crossover and all of that can sometimes be a mix of pulling each other up, but also stepping on each other's fingers. So for you guys, it's been basically pulling each other up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's been great, honestly.
Good. I'm glad to hear. And I mean, the momentum as well. You're taking that momentum and obviously bringing it into 2024. How do you, as a group, get into the mindset to make 2024 not just a big year again, but potentially bigger than 2023?
I think it has been a bit difficult. Like we're all sort of like got full-time jobs and
Of course.
trying to make it work. But I think it's the passion that we've got for it. We want this to work. We want to make it. We love our fans. We want them to come and see us and enjoy the shows, and that's what keeps us going. Really, the fans. Like, I mean, without them, we wouldn't be anything.
Hmm.
Um, but we've been given a lot of love, and like, we want to show that back. We want to repay that. And I mean, we enjoy gigging, we enjoy music, and it's not everyone's lifestyle choice. So sometimes it can be hard, but yeah, no, as I say, we enjoy it, and yeah, hope to give back.
Well, as you said, it is a hard life. You're not going to get rich off this, quitting any jobs anytime soon or anything like that. At least at
Mm.
this stage, obviously the dream and the hope is that could potentially happen. But as of right now, it is what it is. When you say you get a lot of love, where are you finding that more? Do you find a lot of people coming up to you at live shows or really going for it while you're playing live? Or are you also noticing a trend on, say, social media and things like that where you're getting a lot of positivity?
Yeah, it's a bit of it's more shows, but there is online as well. Sort of like YouTube feedback or like Facebook or Instagram, and you see like some people will send us stuff like someone sent us something the other day. It was like on Twitter. Someone was asking for like some bands. They like, oh, can we have a new band to listen to that's kind of like hip hoppy slash trap mixing with metal? And quite a few people said, Swarm 6, and I was like, oh, like it's kind of like refreshing to know that people are listening to it and are kind of like wanting other people to listen to it. Like I love that. Like it's amazing. And obviously, people at gigs coming up and saying like wasn't expecting that, like because obviously we're new, like a lot of people haven't even listened to our stuff. They just come to a show to probably see another band, and they've
Mm.
just kind of seen us on the off chance, and they've gone, oh damn, like that was good, like I enjoyed that. And yeah, I love that. Like it's like really it hits at home, like it definitely
Yeah.
does.
And it's the spreading, it's word of mouth, but just happens to be online. Oh, I heard this band, check this track out, and so on and so forth. It still matters.
Yeah, 100%.
So this might be a difficult one to answer because I don't think you can really tell me about it just yet. But I do understand there is some news come this week that you may have signed to a label. Yes? No? True?
um yeah, I mean, I think I can tell you yes. I just won't tell you what label.
That's it. That's all I wanted to hear. Particularly, what the this you've got news coming out this week, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Wednesday
absolutely. So
we're
just
announcing.
stay, yeah, so just stay attached to your socials to find out the big bloody news. And that is great to hear, particularly as you say, all about the momentum moving into 2024. And speaking of which, Lipstick, your new single, out January
Yes.
19th. I've heard it already. It is an absolute banger. But I wanted to ask you, what are you hoping is expressed with this particular song?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. Like the song, like I've never really divulged what it like really means to me. Like there's always obviously like personal undertones.
Mm,
Um, but I think the the main point is that it's when you meet someone and you get a feel for them, you're like, oh, okay, like it doesn't need to be like a relationship within like going out with someone. It could be like a friendship, could be like a work relationship. But you meet someone and you're like, yeah, this person's great. Like, and you sort of you build a rapport, you start get into that friendship, and then all of a sudden they start showing their true colors.
mm.
And it's like lipstick, like we named it that because it's like, the masking of like the cover up of who that person is. And I think we've all been there when you sort of like, all of a sudden now this person's completely different to like who you thought they were. Um, and you know, whether it be kind of like, sort of like backstabbing or, narcissism or like anything like that, it's a part of life. Some people just do turn out that way.
That mix of personal experiences that you might put into a particular track, let's say this one or even some of the previous tracks and so on, but also having it open to interpretation in theory that most people can relate to it, even if their story is completely different to perhaps the one you were trying to express. Is that an important aspect for you to have that open-ended vibe?
Yeah, I think it is. I think like thing is when I listen to a song and like you hear a certain lyric and you think, damn, like I connect with that. Like I get it. Like whether that person meant that like or not, like I think you just take what you want from music. And I think that's the great thing about music is that whether you're sad, whether you're happy or whatever, like music just makes you like makes those emotions heightened.
Mm.
And I think that that is important for me when I'm writing music and lyrics. I'm just kind of like, is this story attachable to like another person? And yeah, I think as I say, like it is important to me, and I hope that kind of comes across.
So you'd be quite comfortable if somebody came up to you and basically said, "Oh, I took this from say Lipstick particularly," and even though it's not necessarily what you meant, the fact that they took something from it would be more than enough for you, you'd say.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with that. I mean, as I say, like everyone's got different viewpoints and like how they view stuff. And if they took it and they thought, like I was in a bad place listening to that and I relate to it, yeah, great.
Well, talk to me about the writing process for this particular track. Was this an easy task for you as a group? Did you struggle to get this one together, or was it quite smooth overall?
I think because this track was towards the end because like we made like 8 tracks all in all
Mm.
with at G1 Studios with George Lever and Nathan Smart. And this was like towards the end of our kind of like writing process. So like I think the more we kind of like the more we wrote, the easier it sort of become. It was still obviously it weren't straight laced. It weren't just kind of like, oh, that's it, bam, like that's the song. Like there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of you know, sort of like takes. But I think like we got there in the end, and yeah, I'm like this is one of my favorite tracks, to be honest.
Yeah.
I love it. Like just the vibe, the sort of like the hard hitting kind of like lyrics. And then like just the nice kind of like little chorus that there's in there, like kind of like a little hook.
Mm.
It was really fun, like writing it. It was.
I'm glad you mentioned the chorus because this to me is one of your most anthemic tracks, and that chorus is killer. When paired with the previous singles, of course, Fuego, Dopamine, Social Suicide, Cancer, Death Grip, it feels like Swarm6ix's identity is really becoming quite clear, at least from a listener's perspective. From your perspective, do you think you kind of now know who and what Swarm6ix is?
Yeah, I think we still got we've got some stuff up our sleeve. Um, you know, sort of like we've started writing more stuff at the moment.
Mm.
Um, and I think the beauty of it is because of what we're doing, you know, we could go down like a bit more of a trappy element and kind of like do something just hard hitting. And then we can just like step back a little bit, do something with like a little bit of sing, but still keep that hard, you know, sort of like a rap vibe to it. So yeah, I think we've definitely found our edge, but I think
Yeah.
there is room to play there still.
Absolutely, because this track, like pretty much everything you've done up to this point, in my opinion, it's not easy to categorize, and because you draw from so many different musical worlds. But that's exciting because it kind of means we never know what we're quite going to get from you. Is that important to you, though, to be somewhat indefinable?
I wouldn't say like that it is, but it's do you know what is nice when we're playing gigs or we're doing stuff and we get these random kind of like we get a lot of people are like, oh, you remind me of the Prodigy, like, and we're like, oh, okay, like fair
Thanks.
enough, like that's cool, yeah, like that, and you get obviously like the Hacktivist, the Limp Bizkit kind of things, 1056,
Mm.
you know, sort of like I think it's quite like, you know, it's quite vast. Um, but yeah, as I say, I don't think it's like it's that important to us. Like I think it's just nice that we get to do what we want to do and people are enjoying it.
It makes you a very easy band to book just about anywhere, really, any festival, any lineup, because it does cross so many genres. And that is fun because we never, as we say, we never know quite what we're going to get from you. But sticking to the overall thing, the overall package that you just said you did, the 8 odd tracks, did you initially set out to plan to release them individually? Or were you initially thinking, all right, this will be an album, an EP, or what?
I think we we thought about both, but it just made more sense for us because obviously we were releasing it by ourselves. We were just like, well, you know, if we release in one track and try and keep people interested rather than just letting everything go at once and then people going, oh, well, that's the album, you know, and that's kind of it. But I think like just for PR and kind of like pushing the band, it made more sense to release it single by single because then we could get, you know, a single, like get everyone interested, like gig a bit, like, and then do the same again. Maybe have like a big festival or something like that. You know, that was just all sort of like hearsay, but
Mm.
um, I just think it's kind of worked for us because people have been sort of like, you know, more interested. And then we sort of like you do sort of like Spotify playlists and YouTube and like promotion. And it's just, yeah, it's been nice. It's kind of like, it's kept the momentum a lot doing it that way. Um,
There were
and
no,
hopefully it
yeah, there were
keeps the momentum.
Yeah, there's like no periods of silence. Even, every couple of weeks, every month or two, and so on. There's always something coming from you. As boring as it is, and when we have to list things like Spotify playlists and talk about YouTube views and all of this, it's such a necessity of being in a modern band now. So, do you think you kind of got a good handle on it? You think you understand what's kind of required of you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of help. Like, we had Jordan, who is now the vocalist of Hacktivist. He helped us out, like to begin with the first couple of tracks we released, doing all our kind of like promotions
Mm.
online, pitching to like Spotify and all that sort of stuff. And that really helped. You know, the first couple of tracks like really boosted us up, and then we got on board with James, and then James helped us out as well. Um, but it's just I think a lot of people don't realize there's so much legwork to do behind the scenes. It's not just kind of like, oh, we'll release a track and that's it. It's just like there's yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it and a lot of thought that goes behind it. And yeah, like, but as I say, we have had help, and that has really like boosted us like a lot.
Is it fair to say as well you're still learning what works and what doesn't?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's sort of like we've with this release, we're doing it differently. I won't say what we're doing differently, just in case. But we basically the label kind of turned around and went, well, this we don't do this, we do this because it's better.
Mm.
Because this company won't take you if you like your um if it's been out for too long, or if you've put it online and like they need to be pitched the same day. It's a bit like, so like it's kind of like, yeah, it's a bit strange because now what we have been doing, they're kind of like, no, we're not doing that now. We're doing it this way. So we're like, right, fine. I mean, that's fine, obviously, like, because they know what they're doing. Like, it's not like they're just gonna put it out and not give a crap. But um, yeah, I think we are still learning, and it's nice that we've got people that are willing to kind of like push it and try different things. And I mean, so far it's worked regardless of what's kind of happened. So
Absolutely, but still kind of being asked to do something that, completely say different to what you have been doing. A lot of people may have balked at that. A lot of people may have kind of like said no, 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 and that. You guys were quite open to it, yeah?
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got someone now that's kind of pulling the strings a bit more. And some of the bands that are on the roster are kind of like, they are big and they are doing things, so they can't be doing wrong. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, fingers crossed it works out.
Fair enough. I love that. You're absolutely right. If it's worked for others, it hopefully will work for you as well. Of course, as well, as well as the single release and what you've done throughout 2023 and what 2024 will hold, an important aspect of Swarm6ix isn't just from the studio. We've talked about it a couple of times. It's important to you. It's live as well, because on the same day as the single release, you're out and about with Overthrown for some UK dates. And later in the year, you're playing Takedown Festival in April. Which is a killer lineup too, and great to see you on that with so many varied bands too. For those who've never experienced Swarm6ix in the flesh, how would you describe what can people expect?
Ooh. Good question. Um, expect a lot of energy. Expect just a bit of fun,
Mm,
and hopefully you connect to our songs and just enjoy the live show. I try and put like a theatric kind of way to my live performance, just to make something a bit more interesting to kind of look at. Um, and I think it comes across that I enjoy what I do, and I think
yeah,
people like enjoy watching it.
I think you nailed it there as well. Enjoying what you do it is such an important aspect. If from a crowd's perspective, from an audience perspective, you look up and we see you smiling and clearly having a good bloody time, it becomes infectious.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Is the hope or the general plan, without, I guess, revealing anything you might have in the works, to try and make sure 2024 is as busy as humanly possible for you as a group?
Yes, yeah, I think this year is going to be it's going to be a big one for us.
Yeah.
There's, as I say, there's quite a bit in the pipeline. There's a few sort of like things set out. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot busier than last year. It's gonna be interesting trying to fit everything in, but I'm sure we'll manage.
Good to hear. Good to hear. But what is a realistic goal then that you would like to achieve in 2024? Something for you to aim for?
I think maybe not so much this year, but I think next year maybe
Hmm.
get on some of the bigger festivals like Download. That's always like a big dream.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, just play bigger festivals and bigger shows really. Like I think that's like what what it's all about for us. Just get the reach out there, get more people listening to our stuff. I mean, I think that's it for us. Like we want to play gigs. We want to let more people listen to our music. Like we're not too fussed about becoming some next level, huge touring band that's touring like 365 days a year.
Hmm.
We'd be happy with like, a few sort of like, like a European tour, and then like, a couple of UK kind of like runs, and just, as I say, just play some good shows, get some fans, and just keep progressing and getting bigger and bigger.
Feet on the ground stuff, just growing.
Yeah.
Completely realistic, more than achievable. And you mentioned download, but as I said earlier on, Swarm6ix to me can play just about anywhere. So download, Bloodstock, Glastonbury, Reading and Leeds,
Mm.
anything and everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all of those would be great.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Okay, I wanted to ask you about a specific quote that often comes up when talking about Swarm6ix or reading about you, and it's Swarm6ix provide a safe space for those that have always appeared antisocial, dormant, and introverted on the surface. This particular quote, from a personal perspective, yours, what does that mean to you?
I think the thing is when I with the lyrics that I write and everything that we do is kind of like it is very personal. Like it's a very personal level, and I want people to listen to the music and feel safe. And I want them to come to our gigs and feel safe as well. You know, if anyone comes up to me and speaks to me about anything, literally anything, you know, whether it be mental health or just you know, just sort of like I'm such an open person. Like
Hmm.
and I think it's good to like speak your mind and how you feel. And I think like hopefully it comes across in my music, you know, sort of like there's a lot of stuff that I kind of like speak about that is personal. Um and I think, you know, the the music um industry as a whole, like, you know, it should be a safe space for everyone, you know, should be able to come to a gig and be who you are, express yourself and how you want. Um and and yeah, like I just feel I mean like for us, just, you know, sometimes like you feel like an outcast, you know what I mean? And you sort of like and gigs for me have always been a safe space. You know, kind of like everyone's kind of like open, everyone's kind of like there, they want the same thing, they just go and enjoy themselves, you know, everyone's equals. And that's what I kind of like that's what I mean. It is important. It is important for us to keep that going and for everyone to feel safe.
Well said, well said. It is better than it's been, and it's getting there slowly but surely. And everyone, including yourselves, that can do the smallest thing, it just makes the change bigger, more important, and it continues to matter basically. But when you talk about being open, you personally being open and people being able to come and say speak to you or relate to you and stuff like that, that for a lot of people is difficult. It's a difficult thing to feel that comfortable. Is that something that you personally have learned over the years, or have you always been quite an open person?
I think it's something I learned over the years, to be honest. Like, you know, whatever you're going through, you just I know it is hard, as you say. It is hard to speak to people. Not everyone's open. Not everyone can just kind of like divulge their emotions. But I think it's, you know, there's the little things, just like a little like this is how I'm feeling, or like you know, just oh, I don't feel right going here, or like, you know, just you don't have to like to say everything. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to like literally like pour your heart out, but like
Hmm.
I think the more open you are, the easier things can be. Um, but you know, I'd say like it has been something that's kind of like been a learning curve over the years.
Absolutely. And in theory, it's one of the things that you continue to learn from day by day, week by week, month by month as well. But going back to the overall thing, Swarm6ix as a unit, as a group, well, you have this incredible heart and soul and storytelling aspects and connections musically as well. If you just want to, I don't know, dance, headbang, move, whatever it is, it's all there as well. Okay, Ben, this section of the interview involves Ozzy Osbourne, and in his head are randomized questions, anything and everything, including many that have been submitted by bands and artists themselves. They
Okay.
are random. Nothing heavy, always with a little bit of fun involved. So I'm going to pull some out, and if you don't mind,
Yeah,
give me an
sweet.
answer. Okay, number 20. What was the last book you read?
Ooh, damn. You know, I think it was Harry Potter. And it was the Deathly Hallows.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't two parts in the book, right? It was just one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I read
Harry
it
Potter, are
before.
you, would
Yeah,
you say
I'm a
you're,
fan of Harry Potter.
yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. Number one, what has been your favorite holiday destination to date?
Ooh, I went to Thailand for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Going back a couple of years. It was actually just before lockdown. we just squeezed it in. And that was incredible. That was nice. Just a lot of fun, good people, good food, good vibes, and yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those places I always just hear very positive things about. All right, 86. What is your best habit, in your opinion?
Habit.
Yeah, your best habit.
I think you know, I'm always go, 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 go. I think a lot of people tell me to slow down, but
Mm.
in my opinion, being fast is my best habit.
Interesting, because obviously most people go, well, no, that's not always a good thing. But from your perspective, you do see it as a good thing.
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
think yeah, I'm
brilliant.
up and go. I'm just kind of like I'm always kind of like on the move and just keeping things ticking.
Amazing. Okay, 108, 108. What is a song that will always get you into a pit, a mosh pit?
Ooh, man, that is a good one. Just trying to think of some like. Do you know what? I think we're gonna go back to kind of like Suicide Silence and kind of like
Yeah.
probably the anything from that No Time to Bleed album. Like I could just that was for me that was just brutal, heavy, and yeah, I think say like maybe Wake Up from that album.
Oh,
That's a
nice.
banging track.
Oh, that's amazing. So, oh my God, if you ever got that like at a show in full or something, that would be you exhausted basically the
Yeah.
entire album.
Oh yeah.
All right, number four. What is a skill or talent you wish you did have?
Ooh, she did have. You know, I think like because I play a few instruments, but like I've
Hmm.
always wanted to learn the saxophone.
Wow.
Um, but never kind of like never really came to fruition. So yeah, I think to learn the saxophone would be up there.
Do you think there's ever a possibility? Do you think you'd have the time and the energy to ever do that?
Yeah, I think it's like it is possible. I think it's just pulling my finger out and just getting it done. But you know, we'll see.
I look forward to in 10 years' time hearing a saxophone enter the Swarm6ix soundscape.
Who knows?
Who knows exactly? All right, number three. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable?
Um, unexplainable. You know what? I get deja vu all the time, which is strange. Like I've got like a very vivid imagination and I dream a lot and often find myself like sitting there and being like, damn, this has happened before. Like, and I'm just like, this is weird. But that's probably about it to be honest. So I haven't really like never seen any ghosts or anything like that. But I'd probably say just yeah, just deja vu.
How often? You say you get it a lot. How often would you say?
A couple of times a year sort of thing. Like,
Oh,
you know, just the yeah, not like weekly sort of thing. Not that often, but
that is unusual. It is unusual. Yeah, I don't really think. I mean, I've probably had it, but I can't really, certainly not to that level.
yeah.
Okay. Number 106. Who was your first movie or TV crush, if you had one?
Oh, hmm. Trying to think back now. It's probably like one of the Power Rangers, you know.
Hey, which one? Do you know?
Oh, I can't remember. I think it was the yellow one. The yeah, I think it was the yellow one.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can't remember the names. I mean,
No, it's been
I
a long
presume you're
time.
talking the original, like the
Oh yeah,
original
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, well, Lee, do one more, and it's number five. What is the first thing you do in the morning after you wake up?
First thing I do, snooze my alarm.
How many
Only
times?
for only once, just for 5 minutes, and then I'm up. But I kind of like I lay there and like just I snooze it, and I'm just lying there, my eyes open, and I'm like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get up, and then that's it. It goes off again. I'm right, okay, zoom straight up.
Would you say you are an early morning person?
I am, yeah. I get up full of energy. You know, my other half hates it, which is understandable.
No, fair enough, fair enough. Before you go, let's just remind people, of course, on January 19th, Lipstick, your brand new single, is out. And this is part of a rolling boulder down a hill that's going to crush everyone as you power through 2024 with announcements, the shows from the 19th, the weekender with Overthrown as well, of course, Takedown in April and whatever else you do. Keep attached to your socials and things like that for all your upcoming news. It's going to be a very exciting year from an outsider's perspective, and you've implied it is too from the insider's perspective. So Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
No problem. It's been enjoyable.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.